Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Family Source Consultants Surrogate Question and Answer session for April. Today we have the lovely Surrogate Ambassador, Desirae, with us. Desirae, thank you for joining me today. I always love my little chats with you, so this is going to be a good one today. We're going to start off with just our basic introduction for all those people out there watching us that don't know who you are. Fill us in. Give us a little background.
My name is Desiree. As she said, I am now a second time surrogate. I am in the process of my second surrogacy journey. I am doing a sibling journey, so I'm very excited. I'm from Indiana, and I just love being a surrogate, y'all. I know I say it every time, but I just got asked the other day, how many times are you going to do this? And I was like, yeah, I don't know when I'm done. So for me personally, I guess I'll know when my body says no more.
Well, it's life changing. It really is.
Hmm.
And you don't know that until you've been through a whole journey, and then it comes into fruition, and you're like, oh my God, that was like so awesome. Like, what else could I do in my life that would ever compare to how cool that is?
Yes.
You
Yes.
just kind of like fall in love with it. So, what compelled you to look into surrogacy and become a surrogate?
So for me, I'm a big giver. I think it is one of the best qualities and the worst qualities of me because when you are an overgiver, things can happen. But I felt like I wasn't ever doing enough, right? So nothing that I did was like, "Ugh, that's life changing. Like this is just not it." And when I seen it, I was like, that's it. That is it right there. I'm gonna just use my body. And I kept saying, God, if this is for me, you're gonna let everything go through. And once I started the process, it went so fast. So I was like, oh, this is confirmation. And I just fell in love with it. Just because, a lot of people have troubles getting pregnant or they have reasons that they can't get pregnant or had too many complications or miscarriages. So just to help a family be complete once your family is completed is amazing, especially when it's something they've been wanting for so long and then they finally get it. It's like a breathtaking moment. So for me, I'm just addicted to making people happy.
It's awesome. And it is life changing, like you said. It's the big thing. Like I've always taught my kids, you have to do little things for people that make a difference, and you have to do big things for people that make a difference. And this is
Hmm.
definitely a
A
big
big
thing.
thing.
So today, I'd really like to kind of touch on like all the support that surrounds a journey, from the support you get from your agency, from the support you get from your family and friends, and the support that you get from your intended parents as well. So I'm going to dive into that a little bit. And I would love for you to tell us how your relationship with your IPs were before. Actually, before we do that, let's do this. How did Family Source, when you were matching,
Mhm.
how did we comply with your wishes to make sure that we got you the set of intended parents you were looking for? Let's start that way.
So really, I had an open mind. Um, and I was really willing to help anybody. Because like I said, everybody wants to have a family. So I was like, just let me dive into it. But when they sent me my profiles, I kept going back. I sent like 5 emails. I was going back between my IPs and another IP. And I was like, no, 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 them first. No, 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 them. And I was like, okay, finally, this is it. And they're like, are you sure? And I said, yeah. I said, this fits it. And it was just everything. I don't know if I was really too picky, but their profile stood out to me the most. And I think that's why I kept going back. Just her background of everything and how they wanted to be a mom and a dad. So, and it was their first child. And I was like, that's it. That's it. And I think, honestly, I said I wasn't picky. I probably still would have went with somebody who hasn't had a child yet. Overall, for somebody who already has one, I know that sounds kind of like mean, but a family who has a child already experienced the love of a child, and a family who doesn't, like, that's what they're wanting. And I think my heart really would have went towards that, even if I didn't pick the IPs that I had. And Family Source, they were just amazing because I was confused going back and forth, and they stuck it out with me.
Well, I agree with you though, because I felt the same way. I wanted to help a woman become a mother, so I desired a couple that didn't have children already. So I get where you're coming from as far as that's concerned. And now you are signed up to do a sibling journey with them.
I am.
Correct. Excellent. So let's talk a little bit about your relationship with your IPs. How has it changed from the beginning through going through a journey and a delivery and now signing on again?
So in the beginning, I believe that we both were eager to get to know each other, and we connected right away. Um, I think the part that got rocky for her, and when you sit down, because we have Zoom meetings, and we talk to Denise a lot, and she mentioned, like, we have to sometimes think of how the parents are thinking, and I didn't think about none of this until after I gave birth. I don't know why, but it really opens up your eyes once you went through the whole journey. Um, so I understood why it was rocky for her throughout the pregnancy, because you are trusting a complete stranger, even though you have a relationship, but I still really don't know you. I just met you, to carry your baby. You're trusting them to feed everything to your baby, to get the right nutrients, and making sure that your baby is safe. So I would say it was rocky throughout the pregnancy a little bit, because parents, they don't have no control over the pregnancy. Oh, sorry, y'all. They have no control over the pregnancy. Um, and I think she just was antsy, throughout the whole thing. And then once I gave birth to him, I feel like that's really what secured our relationship, because technically I had put in there that I didn't want, I didn't really care if I had a relationship with them or the baby after, because know. I didn't know, sorry, what was going on. Oh, Lord. Sorry.
Hey, this is live, so it is what it is, right? This is
Yeah,
parenting. All us surrogates are parents.
I want to yell for his dad. Sorry, y'all. um, so I believe all of that played part into it. But once the birth came, and I gave birth to him, and they walked in, that's what secured it for me. And even now, just seeing how happy they are, and the baby, like, I still am amazed how big he is. Like, wow, I really gave birth to that baby. When they had asked me, truth, if we're gonna be honest, I'm an honest person. I was going back and forth, right? Because I was like, oh, the first journey, like, we had our little rocky moments, and that. But then I was like, I took it up back with God. I had to relax and take it back up with God, and I was like, if this is who I'm supposed to carry for, like, you'll ease my mind, and that is who I'm supposed to give her second blessing to. So we're good now, and truthfully, I just had to sit down and think about how they process things and what goes through their mind, because although it is our journey, but it's also their journey, and it's a big investment for parents. So I get how stressful it can be when you can't control certain things. And I think that's what opened me up, and that's probably what helped our relationship, I say, the most, because once I sit down and I started thinking about everything, we just had a big nice talk, and it was like she finally felt understood. And I don't know why it took me to giving birth and going through a second journey for me to realize all this, but sometimes that's what it takes. Like, oh, this is what is the bigger picture throughout the whole thing.
Right. And there's no right or wrong. of when those conversations happen and occur and what you get out of them. It's good to see a different perspective, I think. And I think sometimes, we are looking at it through our glasses and not really thinking about, you know, looking at it through a different set of glasses and what it looks like for them, and to understand, the trepidation they're having over things and the concerns they have, that we're like, oh, well, that's not a problem because I know me, I know I'm going to do, but they don't know. And they're literally entrusting us to do the most important thing in their life for them. So it's a big responsibility. It comes with a lot of responsibility. But I'd like to talk about the delivery a little bit, and how did the people in the hospital, the staff and doctors, support you and this surrogacy journey? Because I know not all hospitals are super familiar with these types of deliveries and how that looks, and others do them all the time. So I was just curious how your experience was.
So honestly, I feel bad for people who don't have a good experience. Mine was amazing. I went in there and I remember it was a Pacific nurse. Her name was Chelsea. She was my favorite. She was the best. By the time I went in there, I was already at a 6. So I was not able to get no epidural. I jumped from a 6 to an 8 in less than like a second. So I was like, oh my gosh. She was like, it's okay. Just breathe it in. And she took pictures even for the parents without showing, obviously you're giving birth, but without showing anything extra of me, but just where the baby was coming out, but not nothing, so that they had those type of pictures. She took my phone, FaceTime them while they were, because they missed his delivery, while they were cleaning him up, so they could see that experience. I had the best. And then even afterwards, when they took the baby and mom and dad to their room, they kept coming in like, we're going to get you. It's okay. And I was like, I'm okay. I'm good. Like, just go worry about the parents of the baby. Like, I've had 3 of my own kids. I'm okay. Like, this is a relaxation to me right now. All right. But they were amazing. And even afterwards, they're like, the nurses, every time they had me and the parents together, they're like, oh, I gotta go, or I'm gonna start crying. So yeah, I'm blessed in that part. It was honestly even better than my own births.
And I'm assuming you're going back to the same hospital, same doctor and everything the second time. Awesome.
I am not switching.
Good. That's what we like to hear. So how, throughout the course of your journey, how important do you think it was to have that support from your family and friends, and us as an agency as well?
I think it is very important, because I would say definitely family-wise, top tier, because you're enjoying this pregnancy, but it can get exhausting, right? Being pregnant is very exhausting. So you need that support when you have children, or because sometimes like, oh, I just can't get up. I know like I was experienced like morning sickness a couple of times, and I couldn't even take my kids to school. So just having people there to be able to get my kids back and forth to where they needed to go. And most of all, even their dad, like, you have your little pregnancy cravings, and I'm like sending them to the store or somewhere to go get me something. Or my mom, my mom lived an hour away. So I was like, oh, this is what I'm craving. And then I would get like something at the door from my mom, or she'd be like, all right, we'll come down and I'm going to go ahead and make you some food. And I was like, no, you come up here. So they would do all that. And then the agency, I feel like I was blowing everybody up all the time, because I was like, No. But I had the best support from the agency. I'm not a person who really likes to go and tell all the business, but then when I need somebody, I definitely believe I always went to Denise, especially, but she definitely always jumped in and was right there. Even if it was at 1 a.m, she'd respond like, I was sleeping, but yeah. Oh.
Because I was.
Yeah. Not like
what?
And be like, yeah, no. So the agency is amazing. And I always tell people like to come here. And I always suggest to do research, but when you find a good agency like this, everyone around here is amazing. And I just believe that no, I can't speak on any other agency because I'm not there, but support is top tier here. Even with the other surrogates that are involved, I just believe that, I don't know, all that part was like the best for me. The support from the agency, just
Well, we are happy to hear that. It looks like you got your hands full here, Desirae. Maybe we'll cut this one short today. Do you have any last pieces of advice for anybody considering surrogacy?
I would just be ready.
And then I'll let you go.
Sorry, y'all. I would just make sure that you always are focused on what you're doing, remembering that the parents are also going to go and have certain feelings of certain things, and to try to understand both points. And always run to the, your case manager if it's something that you feel like you can't handle.
That's what they're there for.
Because that is exactly what they're there for.
Yep.
And don't be afraid to speak up. I think that's a lot of what something I was afraid to say no on a lot of things. And I just think that when you become a surrogate and you're in the process of the legal and going through everything, don't be afraid to like speak up of what you want, because it is their journey, but it's also your journey, and you both have to enjoy it. And if only one person is enjoying it, it's not going to be fun, and it could be the worst experience, and that's not what you want to deal with.
Exactly. Well, thank you for all your words of advice today, Desirae, and speaking with us. I'll let you get back to life over there. Thank you for all of your information today. Always great talking to you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.